Hello and welcome to another Tech Articles. I'm going to do something I don't do very often, and I'm going to build out an entire workflow today. And it's only because it's really quick and it'll get you a functioning URL shortener. I released the written article a few moments ago, and I thought I will record a little video for it for the channel and also for the article. So the first thing I've got here to just explain what I've got, I've installed a temporary domain on GridPane, which is this one here. I've installed FlowMattic into this base version, and I've activated FlowMattic, and that is pretty much all I've done on the website. I have Tampermonkey installed on my Chrome browser, and I'm ready to install a new script. And now I'm going to go to the article, and I'm going to copy that Tampermonkey script, which is here, and we're going to paste that in here. Now, I know that this domain is WPA UK, so I'm going to grab that and replace that here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to FlowMattic, go to Workflow, New Workflow. Then I'm going to rename the workflow, and I'm going to enable that workflow, and I'm going to save it. Then we're going to go to Webhook, because a webhook is what we want. We're going to configure that webhook, copy the URL, and go to Capture and push Capture. We are then going to go to our userscript and paste that URL we just copied, which is now sending me to a webhook. I just saved that using a short keyboard shortcut of Control and S, and that's now saved and ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the FlowMattic site where we got the Tech Articles article up, and you'll see here we have this icon, and I'm just going to push this, and it's sending it to the webhook, and it says webhook OK, but link not found. That is currently correct for how we've built it. So if we go back to our workflow builder, we have one capture, and you'll see here, this is the URL we were on, this is what was sent, and these are the headers. So we're going to use that selected response, and we're going to push continue and save. And the next thing we need to do, if we go to our article, we've got the whole workflow here. We need to shorten that URL. So we're going to put in another item here, and then we're going to go to link shortener, and we're going to choose an option of shorten URL. I'm going to configure this. Now I'm going to select the URL that we are to shorten, and as we saw before, that's this URL here. I'm not going to set a custom domain up. Those of you who are aware and watching this video the day it's published, Cloudflare have been having a nightmare today, so I'm not even going to tempt fate on this one. I'm just going to go with the default FlowMattic domain. But you could set up a custom domain here as per the documents. And I'm going to push test action, and we should get a returned URL, which we have, which is our short URL, telling us what our long URL is. And I'm going to push save and close. Now, at this point, you could vary from what the article says. You could send those URLs, the long and the short, to Google Sheets or Airtable or somewhere else to store them so you know what they are and what they reference to. The next thing we need to do is send a webhook response. And the reason we need to send a webhook response is so that our URL shortener can do what we want it to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set a webhook response. I'm going to give it a string and a response of our short URL. And then I'm going to test that action, and that is done. And that is our workflow built. So we're going to test that. I'm going to head over to here. I'm going to reload this page again, and I'm going to push this button. And you'll see here, short link has come back, which if we put up here, will redirect it to this site, which it has just done. But there's one more thing we can do. Currently, this is an open webhook that anybody could send a link to, and it returns a short link. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to stick in a bearer token that we have here to secure it. So if we go back to our workflow and back to configure, and we need to enable webhook authentication, and that will give us a bearer token, which I'm going to copy, continue, and save and close. And then what I'm going to do is go back here, and in between our speech marks here, I'm going to stick in our bearer token, and then I'm going to save that the non-fast way, and that's it. We should be secure now. So if we go to history, we've got one here, and if we now go back to this site and I do the same again, it's sending our URL and the URL has come back. And if we view our workflow and our task history, we have a capture of our webhook here with our bearer token in place, and that is now secure as a workflow. And that's it. We have a working URL shortener using FlowMattic, a tiny amount of code in Tampermonkey. It'll also work with GreaseMonkey, so we've got 133 lines of code. We've had to edit 3 of them, build the tiniest workflow I think I've ever built for a working platform because of just how powerful this is. And the webhook response and capture is from FlowMattic. And we have our own coded working URL shortener. So this is the video to accompany the article. Hopefully you find it useful. Hopefully following the steps along and showing you how to do this exact sort of thing is useful to you. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.